What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live. Jay's loving the intro. Jay's
Something a
digging
little
it.
different, a little
He's head
different.
he's head bobbing. He's like, "Yeah, this is awesome." You guys could only see Jay in the background, but yeah, it's a little surprise for everybody this morning. A new intro, shaking it up a little bit. Just really, we wanted to make you guys wait even longer. That was the whole theme. Want to make you guys wait even
I
longer for this
mean,
stream.
change was about to happen eventually. It's time that me and Ryan were just like, we've got to really do something different with this show and leave the Jeremy stuff behind. Let's just make it a little more professional. We do ad reads, we all that stuff. So it's just time to do it. Do a little more professional.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I love it. I hope everybody liked the intro.
there you go. Jay
Maybe not
loved it,
everybody,
guys.
but something a little different.
Yeah, but you're back. I saw Danky got a lot of views off of your death.
I know, man. I should have did a video on myself dying.
I didn't know you were born in 1959. I didn't know you're that old.
That's pretty. I have a aggressive skincare routine that keeps me from getting scaly.
I saw a lot of people that says that can't be true. Jay doesn't look a day over 55. That's what a lot of people were saying when I was bringing it up the other day.
55. I mean, I'm glad I still have my hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's could go at any moment. I cover it up, so what's the point, right? It is what it is.
It is what it is. But we are here. We're ready to rock and roll. We got some Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise acting like a movie star should, which is great. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Rachel Zegler, the person who acted exactly how a movie star shouldn't act.
Yeah.
Her movie got a second chance, Jay. Got a second chance. Disney was like, you know what? I bet moms and daughters would really like to spend the weekend watching Rachel Zegler and our terrible Snow White movie. Didn't work out very well for them.
And I'm glad because that video did okay on my channel too.
That's good.
Yeah. It was a good weekend. It was a good day. Happy Mother's Day came and gone, and
it's over. Y'all had your fucking day.
Yeah.
Right. We said happy. We said we love you. We said happy Mother's Day. We did all that stuff. So,
and now the weather sucks here in Florida. It's storming Norman over here, man. It's just
it is raining again today, huh?
Lightning flashing in my area. So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It's that time of year, April showers bring May showers here in Florida.
Yeah, exactly. It's like usually around May, June, you get like a quick 5-minute hurricane and then it gets hot and sticky. So whatever you like,
Yeah, I'll take this over just being fucking miserably hot and disgusting out.
What sucks is, man, all this rain, I got to start cutting the grass again.
You stopped?
Yeah, it was just dry and hot. The grass all died. It was all brown. It was perfect. Now it's raining. It's been raining a couple of days. I'm starting to see the green buds. It's starting to shoot up.
Maybe you should do something like water your fucking grass or something if it's dead, Jay.
Dude, you let nature take its course. I'm not like my neighbor, dude. He is like, that's his whole life. Have you seen people like that? Man, they come out like once a week and they're putting vitamins and I don't know what they put in the grass. They kill the weeds,
fertilizer, and
all that stuff. They put iron. This guy is like, you got to put iron in your grass every 3 months. Never heard of that in my life. And it's like, so they do that. So his grass is nice and thick, and he also has these little signs with a dog like no pooping in my yard, and then he has another one that says like no walking on his grass. And I'm like, what's the point of having like the best grass in the freaking neighborhood if you want to let anybody at least put their toes in it?
Well, hold on. You're putting forth that much effort. It's not for everybody else to enjoy. Get the fuck off my lawn. That's for like me and my kids and my family. That's what I'm fucking making that for. I don't want some dirty foot motherfucker coming over there. I don't want some person stomping on my nice grass, messing up my lines. Some stupid fuck who lets his grass just burn out and die for 3 months out of the year. You don't get to come over to my place and enjoy my grass that I work so hard for. That's the rule.
Well, I wait till it's really late and he's gone to sleep, and I walk all over his grass.
And you poop in it?
No. That I don't like. I don't like that in my yard either, even though it's brown. So, but it's what will happen is the weeds will shoot up really quick. I have to trim those down. I have to trim the bush, the hedges. I've got roses up there. It's just a big headache, man. It's a big headache.
I'm in the middle with that stuff. I certainly don't take it that seriously, but like for me, once every 3 months, once every season, put the fertilizer there. They've got different ones for different seasons as well, depending on where you're at and what you should be doing. Try to make it look nice, but I ain't gonna make it my fucking life.
No, but we also have an HOA or HOV, whatever it is. They come over, and if they have like a grass ruler. It's awful. So it's like if your grass is too high, they come out with a ruler, and then they'll take a picture of it and put the warning on your door. And they're like, "We were by your home today, and grass is a little high there. You have 1 week to take care of it." So,
right, you're paying fucking $200 a month to these fucks, so they can at least do something useful. You don't want people's grass like going to seed, basically. Like they let it get so high. These fucking bums. You don't want that shit.
Freaking snakes will grow in that stuff too. So anyway, but I agree. Yeah, it's all right. It just hates. It's the funniest thing was one time Jeremy came to visit me. Imagine my shock. Came to visit me because he had to drop. I know you're about to read something. He came to drop off something that I don't know. I forgot something in his car. He's like, "Hey, I'm in Orlando. I'm going to swing by real quick." All right, cool.
Let me guess. He parked like a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
and he got a little ticket from the.
Yep, he parked up on the sidewalk. You can't have a car. You can have the car in the road. You can have the car anywhere. You can have it sideways, upways, whichever way. For God's sake, it can't even have a tire on the sidewalk. He was on there for literally 5 minutes. Came in. He filled up his big water jug that he hangs on his belt, And when he went out, there was a sticker that was hard to get off on the side of his mirror or on the side of his windshield. Those stickers where it's like you try to peel off, it all breaks. Right? He was so mad. I was dying. It was freaking hilarious, though.
I'm not going to lie. Like when I get too old and fucking I'm not working anymore, not doing anything, I'm going to need to have something in my life to make me feel better by making others miserable. And I feel like being an HOA dickhead could be that thing. Like that could be the job for me. Just constantly kind of walking around, strolling the neighborhood, looking for anybody who's fucking shit up, looking for assholes parking their trucks on the sidewalk just to ruin their days. That might be it. That might be my calling.
I could see it. You have to win an election, though, I think, right? To be part of the HOV. So
HOA, I'd bribe people.
HOA.
It'd be fine.
Yeah, because nobody really votes. I think there's like if there's 1,000 people, they get like 3 votes and they win because nobody cares. Nobody wants to deal with
that shit. I'll stuff the ballot box. Alex McCarthy for dude. Tom Cruise says NFLK Outpost or Drunk 3PO. If Tom Cruise told me that, I'd do it in a fucking heartbeat. Tom Cruise, the last real movie star. Butter Biscuit for 2 stepping your game up, I see. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Andre CR with this type of intro, I expected bald beardo with a crappy green screen.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. At least probably not. Well, Wednesday, maybe. Greedy Graffiti, new intro. Let's fucking go. Sir Hat for 2. Jay, how'd your fast go, by the way? I think he's just starting.
Yeah, today's the day. I'm already feeling it. Usually the first thing I do before I stream at 8 in the morning, I usually have a piece of toast with a big clump of bread on it, I mean, a clump of butter on it, sorry. The fast is messing up my brain. I usually have like toast and like my body hasn't had it.
I'm just imagining like a standard piece of wheat toast with a huge like end of a baguette on it, and you just chomp it away at that.
Oh, my body's like, where's my freaking bread at, man? Yeah.
Chris Bolts for 2. Old intro is better. Straight into the point. Thank you. Young Staub for 2. Congrats, Jay. Reboot Grumpy Old Men with Ryan and Jay. Ken Lipson, Jay's almost never wrong.
Almost.
Just because you had a new intro, you're still late and gay. Go buy Saints and Sinners to support Jay.
Oh yeah, that dropped today. I appreciate it. Won't spend a lot of time on it, but if you do get Saints and Sinners, make sure you get my cover. That's my cover right there. My new character. I'll be talking more about this on my live stream later tonight. So make sure you get my cover.
There you go.
Tell the other guys, we stand with Jay.
It'll be a challenge.
It's cover D. Everybody wants the D. All right.
Boba Fett for $5. Thanks, Ryan, for defending scenes on Andor and FNT. Hated on Disney's fun, but you have to give credit when they do something good for once. I'm going to be honest. Talking about Andor is fucking exhausting. Because like as I've said, I think there's some good things they do with the show and some good moments. And I think you should say when those things are good. And I also think there's plenty of room to criticize it. So it's like, we talked about it for like 2 hours on FNT or whatever, and even though like I do have some of the criticisms were like insanely stupid, retarded shit, and I'm like I have to push back against that because that doesn't make any sense what you're saying. And then I was on EFAP on Saturday and on Sunday, 2 very long streams covering the first 6 episodes. And then I had, some criticisms, what I felt were like pretty fair. And sometimes I got a lot of pushback for those criticisms. So it is sometimes exhausting to fucking talk about this show. I'm not going to lie. All I can do is tell you what I think is good and what I think is bad. But thanks, Boba Fett.
I did see a lot of people saying that like it's out of all this, it's starting to get pretty decent. So I don't know.
Episodes 7, 8, and 9 are finally kind of this big explosion of a lot of the buildup that's been happening over the first 6 episodes. I think the first 3 are by far the worst of the bunch, and they kind of wasted a lot of time and missed a lot of opportunities. 4 through 6 sets some pieces in motion, for this big culmination in the last arc that we saw. But yeah,
sounds thrilling.
It's like it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and it takes its time way too much at times. And I think they have a lot of things that they could have done better throughout, especially those first 6 episodes. I think there's a good payoff in episode 8 specifically. But
you know what I found funny about the whole Star Wars Andor thing is that the official Star Wars, I guess, YouTube channel decided that they wanted to post 1 hour of Mon Mothma dancing while she was drunk and depressed.
Mon Mothma.
1 hour.
That's not even a Disney character. You have no excuse to not know her name.
It's man, Star Wars has such a it's like I'm trying to erase it from my brain at this point. It's gotten so horrible. I get a little hope, and then they just suck it right out of you sideways at that point. But yeah, 1 hour of Mon Mothma dancing to that DJ music. Was that good? Was that like a cool scene? Is that why they put it up for an hour?
I don't think it was a very cool scene. The scene in question is during the wedding of her daughter to the son of somebody, basically a criminal, that she was kind of forced to get in bed with because of some shit she had to do to cover up some financial stuff. And her doing that eventually led to her daughter getting an arranged marriage to this criminal, which that's kind of, it is what it is. So she wasn't super comfortable with it. Then at the very end of that episode, she realizes that one of the people she brought in, her lifetime friend, her childhood friend, brings her, essentially is like having issues, and Luthen ends up killing him. And immediately after, and she's like kind of bargaining and trying to do everything she can to beg Luthen not to do it. And he's like, no, this is what fucking has to happen. And she kind of walks away. And this is as everyone's dancing and stuff. So she kind of walks away, takes a shot, and just starts kind of like dancing and like letting loose to disconnect and forget that her friend that she basically got killed is about to get murdered by Luthen. And I don't have any problem in isolation with that. My problem was that the dance scene, this one specifically, they kept cutting back to it over and over and over and over again, worked in with a lot of things that are going on with Cassian and Bix and all those people. And it was just like, I get it. Like I get the point of the scene. I get it that she's like trying to fucking disconnect from reality right now. Like I get that. I didn't need to keep coming back to it. And I know it's an editing decision to counteract with what's going on across the galaxy. I didn't like it. But it doesn't actually go on for an hour, although it may feel like it. 0 for 2. Best daily duo, total Munjay takeover.
Hey, thank you.
You know what the best show that is right now, and I enjoy it way more than Andor, and it's not even close, to be honest, is Mobland. Mobland on Paramount Plus. It's 7 episodes in, releases weekly. It's basically about like Irish gangsters, basically, and stars Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren. It's fantastic. Everybody should watch Mobland on Paramount Plus. And it's actually kicking Andor's ass in the ratings, not surprisingly.
Everyone in the chat agrees. Said it's fantastic.
They all do? Nice.
Pretty cool.
Tobias, I'll just make my first terrible thumbnail, and G&G makes a whole intro video. I don't stand a chance. At least last night's stream went mostly well, thanks to testing from the GTA and some good hunts. From the GCA. Did I say GTA? GCA.
Maybe.
But thanks, Tobias. Empty-headed. Does Josh live in an HOA neighborhood?
Yes.
Sunny Hard R for 2. Congrats to Ryan for leaving Jeremy for Mauler. I'm not looking to tie myself down with any one person, so I float around. Open relationship. Mike Soros becomes a channel member. Bar King. Hey, Figs, is Jay related to Ethan Klein? They kind of look alike. Also, I like Jay's optimism contrasting Ryan's cynicism. Also, we Turks disown Hassan Piker. He's part of the Greek delegation now.
I'm not Jewish.
You could still be related, I guess. Could have married into the family.
Married. I don't know. I'm not Jewish. That look like Ethan Klein?
There have been some shots every now and then that I think there may be some similarities, but not all that much. Not all that much. Let's talk about a movie we're excited for, Jay. At least that I am. And you should be, because you're a big Mission Impossible fan.
Massive.
A massive Mission Impossible fan. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning is set for release in just a few weeks. I think May 22nd is officially when it comes out here in the United States. You're already seeing some launching and some premieres and stuff like that all around the world. And Tom Cruise is doing what he does best, be a fucking movie star and go out and promote his movies. And he's doing it the right way. The way that we would probably wish every Hollywood star would be out there. He'd be thanking his fans. He wouldn't get involved in random controversies. And even when people try to draw him into those things, he's shutting it down immediately.
I love it.
Certainly, I think there's a lot of things working against this movie because of the massive budget they spent on it, following a lot of delays, and even some of the stuff during COVID. They tried to be the first to start after COVID, all of that stuff. However, that does not damper my excitement for Mission Impossible. The final entry, The Final Reckoning. And, Tom Cruise is, going all around the world, promoting the movie, thanking fans. And you even got things like this. He's going to be in Texas soon.
Hi, everyone. On May 22nd, I'm coming to the great state of Texas. And I'll be visiting Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio before stopping by some theaters to see you at some of the first screenings of Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Then we're going to fly to Dallas, where I'm going to get some delicious barbecue before going to more theaters to say hello. And I can't wait. We'll see you at the movies.
So, hey, if you're in Texas, you might see Tom Cruise stopping by.
I love it. I'm going to get some barbecue.
And over in Korea, Some people did just see him, and he did a big thing. Here's this little. We made this film to share it with you, the audience. Thank you, Soul, for allowing us to entertain you.
Very excited to be here in Korea. It's an absolute dream. You're going to see the biggest action you've ever seen, and the story is very moving, and it's incredibly entertaining. While we're making the film, we dream of bringing this movie to you. Thank you for making this evening so special. Thank you for allowing us to entertain you. We hope you enjoy the film because we made it for you.
Just like picture perfect promotion, right? Well, even when it doesn't go exactly perfect, Tom Cruise still has the perfect fucking answer. I'm sure you saw this over the weekend, Jay. Tom Cruise refuses to politicize Mission Impossible promotion amid Trump questions. We'd rather answer questions about the movie. And this was while they were in Korea. They're doing a Q&A and stuff like that. And of course, the first thing that gets asked is a question that potentially could cause some controversy. And here's Tom Cruise walking up. We're not going to be able to understand what this person asked because they're speaking fucking Korean. So we'll fast forward a little bit.
반갑습니다. 톰 크루즈 해외 촬영에 궁금합니다. 촬영 영향이 없다고 하던 영화에 대해서 향후 관세를 어떻게 생각하시는지 궁금합니다.
I'd like to ask this question to anyone who's up for it. I think, so I watched this film and I saw that it was filmed in many different locations around the world, including Africa. And of course, we all are aware of the tariffs that President Donald Trump has been imposing on overseas productions and films. So is this particular movie under that tariff? And also, how much of the film was shot overseas? I think that's a fair answer. All right.
So it's hard to catch because he doesn't have the mic up, but this question is directed at everybody, right? So anybody can chime in and answer, blah, blah, blah. I love that Tom Cruise kind of looks down, immediately takes charge and says, we'd rather answer questions about the movie. Thank you. Exactly what he should have done. Take this thing that obviously is meant to get him to have some hot talking point, to generate some fucking headlines, whatever it is, and say, hey, no, we're here to talk about the movie. We're not answering that question. Bye. I fucking love it, dude.
It's textbook what these actors should do. This is it. This is the class that you all should take. Rachel Zegler and others. Take this class. Understand this is how you promote the film. All these little gotcha questions that they try to get you, you know, because if he would have answered it any other way, Tom Cruise speaks against President Donald Trump's tariff, like whatever, you know how the headlines are going to be. They change it all up and things like that. But no, it's awesome. And I love that he always says, we made this movie for you. We made this movie for you. He did that with Top Gun, Maverick. He's like, we made this for you. We made this for you. Somebody said my mic is too loud. Is my mic too loud, chat? Is it like overpowering Ryan? Like, let me know.
I think you're okay.
Okay. Or maybe they just want me to shut up. One of the two. One of the two. But yeah. I love it too. I love it. I love it that he just shuts it down and keeps it moving.
Yeah, it's great because, like, look, in an ideal world, I would never know what any movie star thinks about politics. I don't think that's very realistic at this point in time. However, what I do think is incredibly realistic is for when they're promoting these movies, they're making it about the movies themselves. That's what the focus is. And, you know, half the time when we get a lot of these headlines that come out from people saying retarded shit, it's based on the questions they're being asked by people, right? Yeah. Questions that kind of are bait, questions that lead them to something. And I love that Tom Cruise took charge and said, no, we're going to keep talking about the movie. We'd rather answer questions about the movie. That's why we're here to promote the movie, not for some political talking point.
You mean no one asked him if it's the gayest Mission Impossible ever? He didn't get that question.
Not that I'm aware. Not that I'm aware.
Well, I need to know that answer. So somebody ask him. We want to know if it's the gayest Mission Impossible ever. Hey, I'm looking forward to it, man. This month, it's a lot happening. There's a lot happening that the 22nd. It's the opening of Epic Universe. G&G will be on the ground for that. I'm gonna go see Mission Impossible. It's a lot.
I will
going on.
be at the opening of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
As fun as Epic Universe is, that's what I'm going to be at. So, because I am looking forward to it.
I am
I
too.
love the franchise. The last one, maybe not up to the same level in terms of, you know, the stuff we'd seen with Rogue Nation and Ghost Protocol and Mission Impossible Fallout. I still liked it. Obviously didn't do as well as the box offices they were hoping, up against some big competition, and Sound of Freedom blew up as well during that time that no one was expecting. And I don't think this movie has a prayer of making its budget back because of how much it costs to make it. But I am excited as fuck to see it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Me either. I'm ready to go. It's going to be a fun time in the theater. I like the last one. It just, I think you were talking about like the last one just didn't do well. It was kind of, like you said, it was sandwiched in. Maybe it was just in a bad spot when it was released, but I thought it was really good.
I liked it. It was, again, it was like, I don't think the Dead Reckoning Part 1 label was something that kept people away, like specifically because it said Part 1, but maybe because it really was a film that was clearly just a Part 1, like in and of itself, you know, that left so much unanswered that really ended. It's just like, hey, we know we still got to do all this other shit. Maybe that was part of it. One of the reasons people didn't like it as much too. I don't know.
How do you think this one will do better in the box office?
I do.
Than Part 1.
Here's the thing, though. So these two movies were filmed. At least some of them were filmed, you know, back to back. But this was famously Tom Cruise going off during COVID. Was on the set of Mission Impossible when they were the first people to start all of this stuff. And because they do everything real, because they're not green screening, because they're traveling to different locations, because of all that, I think it really fucking jumped a lot of their costs up, especially with being the first people to experiment to try to do this during COVID. There's no chance for it to make its money back. I don't think there's any chance for a Mission Impossible movie period to hit $1 billion. I just don't think it's real.
Right.
So when you spend $400 million on this thing, no chance.
Was this the movie where Tom Cruise had his epic meltdown? Was this the one that he was filming?
They filmed this one and parts of the last one kind of back to back at times, right? There was a long filming process. So I don't know exactly what scene, or if it was for the first one, for this one, whatever.
That was a great.
But yeah, and that was, and look, as stupid as all the fucking COVID protocols were, not just in retrospect, but even then, right? I had no problem with Tom Cruise fucking going off on those people because they were trying to get the movie made, right? And it's like, hey,
and they had to follow it. Yeah.
These are the rules we have to follow. If somebody fucking walks in and this happens, we're done. We get shut down and all of Hollywood gets shut down.
Yeah.
Like, stop fucking around.
It was an epic meltdown, dude. I like that one better than the Christian Bale. Christian Bale was pretty rough too. That melt. He was just yelling at a key grip, I think. Just decided to see Billy standing there, and Christian Bale just took out all his anger on that one guy. He just was like, I'm stressed out, man. You get it today. Oh,
Christian Bale. Yeah.
I think they were filming Terminator Salvation when that happened.
Linko Kenobi, Delta Entertainment for 50. Two $50 super chats. We'll be watching Mission Impossible same day as I'll be watching Lilo and Stitch. Looking forward to those movies, especially this week, playing Doom Dark Ages, less than a month away from going to Epic Universe. And then Linko for another 50. Hey, Jay, I'm a little concerned about virtual queue lines that they're trying to do in Epic Universe. I did talk about it a couple of times in videos. What are your thoughts, Jay? I hate the virtual queue. I know you didn't ask me, but I hate it.
The virtual queue at Epic Universe needs to be changed quickly. And if you're talking about like getting on the Ministry of Magic, that is going to be a major problem for people trying to ride that ride. Or like it's just because basically 3 times during the day you got to get your phone out and then you got to be on the app, and then you got to hopefully you just see everybody just pushing their phone really quick as it refreshes, and then it's like then you got to pick your party, then you got to pick a time, and it's over with in less than 10 seconds. So if you were lucky enough to be the first just to ready, then you can get on that ride. I hope that gets revamped, but you might be talking about something that could be happening over at that park, which will really they have an opportunity here to do some serious damage to the Disney parks. And if they do this, I think that is not going to be good for this theme park. They were talking about adding virtual queues for the portals. So you go to Epic Universe and you have to pick a virtual queue time when you're allowed to enter the portal. And then you have a limited amount of time in each portal. They have not done that yet. That has been a discussion. If they do that, that park is done. That nobody, I think that is very dumb to like hang out in the middle and be like, okay, our time from 3 to 4, we get to go to Super Nintendo Land. So you go there and you just hang out for an hour, and it's like, all right, you got to leave. Then you got to go to the next one. That is
now we do know from what they
do that,
told
stupid.
us. I think that would be stupid as well. I do know from what they told us that obviously each and every land does have capacity, right? Like at some point, it's if there's so many fucking people in Super Nintendo World just like walking around, hanging around, whatever, they can shut the gate temporarily. Now there's other exits and stuff like that for people to go out, but there might come a time when if it gets that busy at one particular park, they might close it. So you might have to wait for more people to filter out before you're allowed to go back in.
100%. I know they did something like this over at Universal Studios Japan on very busy days. You had to have a virtual queue to enter Super Nintendo World, but what they did was they gave you a virtual queue and they added the rides in that virtual queue. So it was like if you're in Japan, which I know you're ready to go, Ryan, you would go to Universal and it's like, all right, I got to get a virtual queue to go to Super Nintendo World. My time is 3 to 4. Well, it says be in line at the Mario Kart ride at 3:15. Then you have like 15 minutes to take photos, and then be in line at this ride at the next time and that one, and then you got to get out. So that's how they do it. If theme parks turn into something like that, I think it is going to be a major disaster. They should just open up the lines, man. If people want to wait 10 hours, let it be their choice. Let it be their choice.
The Trillist for 5. Get off my lawn. Ryan has an old soul, probably 88 years old. Might as well shake your fists at them too. Thanks to Trillist. Keanu Reeves is another awesome movie star, says David Smart. Yeah, I think so.
I agree.
Nader's Brick Channel, Jay, your brain was already messed up before the fast.
Okay, let me just say this. If you're going to insult my brain, can you pull that back up? If you're going to insult my brain, which you're free to do, which most people do anyway, please, for the love of God, at least spell my name right. If you're going to insult me, at least use proper grammar. Come on.
It's a
Thank you
fake
for the
name. Dumb name. Just a fucking letter. I don't hate it, Nader's
Maybe
Brick.
he meant to say it like that way.
I don't know. Narrow Boat Nige. You too with the back and forth is why I love this channel. No other show at the Fellowship comes anywhere close. Well, thank you.
Oh, man.
Narrow
Shout
Boat
out.
Nige. That's us. We're top tier. Cream of the crop right here.
Good.
Sir Hat, I'll make sure to go see Sinners to support Jay.
Thank you.
Adventures of Shiloh and Otis. Oh, that's funny.
Ryan got broke by a super.
Well, like, did you watch Milo and Otis?
I never did.
I watched it. Apparently, a lot of animals fucking died and shit during that, by the way. But I do remember vividly watching that movie. But the crossover between Milo and Otis and Shiloh, the newest sensation, combined with the fucking picture is just funny. Hey Jay, how does a pirate say the N-word?
With a hearty R.
Bard King, also Ryan hates basketball people. Joan of Park. Bro, I've been watching tons of basketball. What are you talking about?
Me too.
I've been watching tons of basketball. Andre CR, Mom Martha. Why did you say that name? Patty McShane, Christ help Jay. If Gal Gatot ever plays Mon Mothma.
Mom Martha, played by Gal Gadot.
You said her name right.
I know.
Not Mon Mothma's. Quatrina VR. It was them trying to go viral like Zemo's dance. Greedy Graffiti. No, Ryan, don't join the HOA. That's like joining the Empire. What fucking team do you think I would be on? You kidding me? You think I'm going to let these fucking... I'd be on Team Palpatine. These fucking monks, not elected, like they just have random mystical fucking powers and think they can be put in charge of everything. You think I'm going to let them run the Republic? They can go fuck themselves, okay? If you want to make someone miserable, fight the HOA Karens. Let your grass grow tall and raise some loud chickens, LOL. Look, although I have been obviously bothered as fuck by HOAs from time to time, overall, sometimes there's some fucking problematic people in your fucking neighborhood that don't take care of their shit. They make your block look like fucking trash. And I want to make them do it better or get them the fuck out, one or the other. So. Bar None Industrial, chainsaw go brrr. Yeah. Yes, in the last episode of Mobland. That is very true. Cole Hauser. Yo, Ryan and Jay. Ryan, I had no idea you were handling the trade negotiations with China. Great job, bro. If anyone can get the Chinese to bow, it was you. What are we talking about?
So, I don't know if you want to see it, but we played a video this morning and everyone said this is what Ryan's going to look like in 6 years of the guy that was talking about trading. Now, I didn't say it looked like you. I don't think it's you, but you know, the chat is always MVP. So this is it here. This is the guy.
Just was as the secretary.
You don't talk like that.
Very constructive.
There's some similarities, facial structure.
Quickly, we were able to come to agreement, which reflects that perhaps the difference.
So they're talking about the trade talks this morning. So
his nose and eyes look similar to mine, I think.
Little beady.
Yeah.
So if you do live past the age of 50, that's what you got to look forward to. There's
some similarities. His forehead ain't as big, I don't think. But...
Well, he's got a little comb front. See how he pulls the hair forward?
Yeah, I guess if I like tried to get mine down more instead of, straight up, maybe it would look a little different. Could be me.
Dad.
Delta Entertainment. What's up, guys? Hey, Ryan, I agree with you about Andor. I enjoyed chapter 3 more, and I enjoyed the last 2 chapters. Looking forward to Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Maximus for 199. Shiitake. And then Maximus for $1.99 says, "Are you retarded?"
I don't know. Every time you say that, it makes me laugh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shiitake.
God, no one's fucking talked about that game in months, it seems.
That should be my text message alert. That's funny.
Jay Frazier, hail G&G, RIP Sabu. ECW hardcore
Sabu.
wrestling
Yeah,
legend.
that dude was a freaking... Anybody who's ever seen him wrestle in the ECW kind of wonders how he lived this long. That guy was like... He did anything and everything. Put his body on the line, did like crazy stuff. Bob wires, fire, everything. The guy was like unbelievable. He passed away. So rest in peace.
Minecraft Dragon Tamer Mazza for 5. Hey, Jay, love the video you did in DC. Can you do a review on Domino's Parmesan stuffed crust pizza next?
If that's what you want. Yeah, on the Jaywalking the Planet channel, we finally uploaded the videos of my DC trip and the cherry blossoms. It's pretty cool.
Domino's Parmesan stuffed crust pizza. That sounds good.
Yeah, man, don't talk about food. Oh, shoot.
Oh, you don't want me to talk about it?
I mean, I'm a man. I can handle it.
It's been like fucking 3 hours since you're supposed to have your fucking meal. You're on your fucking fast for 3 hours now.
I'm freaking
And-
hungry.
All right.
I'm
gonna get
surprised you
worse.
don't hear the gurgling and the bubbling that's happening right now.
Red Mage for 20. If my theater does something like a double feature, Dead Reckoning, Final Reckoning, I'm down for it.
Oh, same. I would do that.
Don't know if they will, but maybe. It's going to be crowded, man, these next couple weeks. It's crowded at the box office. Salty Bug. Hail from Universal Hollywood. Catch you later.
Oh, man. Hey, I was supposed to be there this weekend. I was going to LA this weekend to go to Universal. I just couldn't. My Steiner math couldn't crunch the numbers to afford it. So enjoy.
Cozy EXP. Jay, did you see the Try Guys left out the Harry Potter section of Epic Universe review because they don't support J.K. Rowling?
I
So
did.
dumb.
We just pointed and laughed at him. Like,
We're the Try Guys.
just another vlog channel.
Another $50 from Linko Kenobi. I agree with this is all caps, so I got to be serious about this. I agree with the both of you. And yes, Jay, I also did talk about the Portal virtual queues. If they do this, Epic Universe is done for. Looking forward to watching How to Train Your Dragon. It comes out the week I arrive.
I'm looking forward to that movie too.
I think it's going to do really well. I've said it from the first trailer I saw. Obviously, I don't like the casting for Astrid. But the rest of the movie, the promotion in terms of how scene for scene, it looks so much like the movie. If that's what the movie or with like the animated movie, if that's what the live action movie is, I think it's going to be received very well.
That's what I mean, I've been saying that it's been just frame by frame remake.
Bum, 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 bum. You watched it recently, yeah?
Watched 1 and 2 back to back. I haven't seen the third one yet. So some people were like, yeah, it's good. It's not that
Third
good.
one's not as good.
Right. But I loved it.
1 and 2 are very good.
I loved it. I was surprised how much I loved it because the animations, a lot of them have fallen off since since like the Little Mermaid days and Aladdin and all that stuff that but I gave it a chance after I went to Epic Universe and I gave it a chance and I was like, oh my God, the first one was freaking awesome.
Where was I? Chuck Berry starts off topic. But have you guys heard the insane cope for Last of Us 2 that they're making Ellie intentionally unlikable? Love you both, long time.
Long time.
No, the problem is what they're adapting fucking sucks, and the actress they cast as Ellie fucking sucks. So it's a bad combination, and people aren't gonna like it. Like that's their fucking problem. But I haven't heard the cope that they're doing this on purpose or anything. Bruce, congrats on the massive announcement, Jay. I picked up your cover already.
Thank you, Bruce. I'll talk more about it on Drunk 3 People tonight at 6 p.m. on the Monday Hangover. I really appreciate it. It was a year and like a few months in the works. So I wrote a short story with a brand new character for the Rippaverse. So should be cool.
Very cool.
Oh, look at this.
Z Herb. Hey, it's Jay and Ryan.
Spell my name with an E. Come on, people. Be better.
Mine's worse.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even notice that your name was misspelled.
Tinsote, have y'all ridden Expedition Odyssey at SeaWorld?
No, I haven't been to SeaWorld in a minute because my pass expired. So I'm waiting to see.
What's Expedition Odyssey?
It's just one of their new rides that they opened up. Kind of, I don't know what so much it's about, but
well, if it's new, I definitely haven't ridden.
Yeah, no, it's brand new. A lot of good things about it. They actually have opened up. SeaWorld has opened up 3 new thrill rides faster than the big 2. They had the stand-up roller coaster where you're riding a wave. Then they have this. I know it's English. They have a penguin roller coaster that's supposed to take you through like the Antarctic. And people say it's really good. I haven't been on those either, so I need to get out there.
Dokuman for 5. Oh, Dokuman from Rippaverse. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if we should say this.
Yeah, I know. Is that Yee?
It's yay. Boom, boom, boom. How can yeah. We all understand how it goes. G and G don't know what I say on YouTube. All my geeks and gamers be like,
Hi, Kennel.
yeah.
Hi, Kennel.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. It's catchy.
I tuned out of that song when he called X Twitter. That drew the line for me. Got to get with the times, man.
Well, the thing is, Twitter kind of rhymes with Hitler.
I get
So,
it.
like when you're looking for stuff to rhyme, it makes
You can
sense.
do better though.
But I really appreciate this effort that you put into this, Dokoman. But somebody's gonna clip it. They're gonna pretend like it's real. Grand Admiral Adam Ryan, Outer Group, including the Fell Empire with Imperial Knights, the Mandalorians, and the Chiss bears a galactic power. I mean, they would probably be highly efficient and highly calculated, so probably pretty well. I would imagine. And look, the Fell Empire, obviously, under Jagfell and his descendants, he already has a lot of that Chiss mentality within him, right? Because he was raised in the Chiss ascendancy. So Jay's like nodding along like he knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Man,
you know who Jagged Fell is?
Oh no, not that guy.
All right. I would be like stunning, like shocked, surprised if you knew who Jagfell was. He's a character from the Star Wars Expanded Universe books.
Oh yeah. Plagueis was my guy.
There you go. But probably pretty well, Grand Admiral Adam. Bob Wire. Yes, he did say that. I let it go.
What did I say?
You said Bob Wire, fire. Yeah, when you were talking about Sabu or whatever that guy's name is. Sabu.
How do you say it? Barb wire, right? Isn't that what I said?
Well, it's barbed wire, yeah.
Oh, I just said it quickly.
You said Bob Wire.
My bad.
How do you pronounce library?
Library. Probably because
you don't like Blackstrid, Ryan? No, I wish, like, my biggest problem, to be honest with you, because is that actress's name Nico Parker? She's basically like quarter black Garrett. She is a quarter black, like in terms of her heritage. Her mom is half black, half white, and I think her dad is white. If they'd have given her like a blonde wig, I don't know if it's even that big of a deal because of how in general light skinned she is, but she doesn't look like Astrid. So, but I don't think the movie's going to suffer too much because of that, if I'm just being real. Grand Potato for 199 got the A-team today.
Thank you, Potato. I want a potato.
Bob Starsky, congrats, Jay. I was that one book sold.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Cole Hauser, Ryan, you need to watch Hogan's Heroes. Funny as Heil. Thank you, Cole Hauser. You know what I'm not? You know what nobody watched this weekend?
Yo, I'm sorry. That was funny. Oh, let me guess. On Mother's Day, families didn't take their moms out to see Snow White? How could they?
You know, Jay, Rachel Zegler's Snow White flopped hard in theaters, right? $200 million at the box office on a movie that they probably spent well over $350 million, maybe close to $400 million on. A catastrophe. Not only was the movie itself just absolute garbage, but it was combined with the fact that Rachel Zegler had been putting out bad PR for this movie for 2 years in the lead up. But Disney decided, you know what? Here's our chance. Even though we're about to take it out of theaters, let's give it one last hurrah. You know who's going to want to see this movie one more time before it leaves theaters forever? Moms and their daughters. Of course, they're going to spend time together. They're going to want to go to this thing. Of course. So they decided that even though it had only been in, just a few hundred theaters as it's in its rundown, almost ending its box office run before it goes on digital, it had a big explosion this weekend in terms of the number of theaters that Disney put it in. They went 1,200 plus screens this weekend for Mother's Day. How do you think it worked out, Jay?
maybe they crossed that 100 million domestically, and they added more money to this movie.
Well,
Maybe.
let's just say it didn't go very well. Now, I'm going to correct this because I don't know where Hollywood Handle got this, but this has obviously kind of gone viral, this post. Snow White re-released in 1,300 plus theaters domestically this weekend and grossed nearly $210,000. That's a per theater average of $50. Now, Jay, I know you're a math whiz.
Yeah.
Does this make any sense to you, these numbers? $210,000, 1,300 theaters, an average of $50 per theater. Does that make any sense to you?
Not at all.
No, it fucking doesn't, because $210,000 divided by 1,300 is like closer to $160 average. So I don't know where they got the per theater average from. I also don't know where they got this number from, because not like it was more impressive, but the number is actually 335,000.
Maybe
not
they got
much
that
better.
number. Maybe they got that number because they have to like divvy it up to theaters and stuff like that.
No, that's not it either. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's probably the correct one. But it made for a good video.
$335,000. So it was on 300 screens the week before. They put it in over 1,000 more this weekend. And the last hurrah before it goes on Digital Tuesday, Disney Snow White came up with a whopping $335,000. Now that is a per theater average of 252. Jay, that is the lowest per theater average of any fucking movie that was released on this list, with the exception of Becoming Led Zeppelin.
My argument was they should have left Revenge of the Sith in theaters for an extra 2 weeks if they wanted to re-release anything. I think it had a good chance. I could be wrong, especially over May the 4th. I think Revenge of the Sith would have had a good chance of hitting that 1 billion collectively mark. I think it was sitting around 900,000 something. If they had left it in, I think a lot of people probably would have gone back on May the 4th just because it was a thing, to do. Re-releasing Snow White makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. In fact, I believe tomorrow you can watch Disney Snow White on Disney Plus if you have that streaming service, or maybe they're going to dump it on Hulu or something. So I think that it's like, it made no sense to me. Like, why would they take a chance? Did somebody over there was like, hey man, I think we're trending. Let's release it and see what happens. Let's see what we can do here.
I don't know if it could have made another $100 million, Revenge. I don't know if that was feasible.
I don't know either, but
it certainly could have made more money than this made, right?
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. If you're going to do Revenge of the Sith, look, the 20th anniversary. When did Revenge of the Sith come out, Jay?
20 years ago.
20 years ago, but it wasn't in April 20 years ago. It was on May 19th.
Yeah.
Right? So not only, to me, release it at the very end of April and let it go for a month. Let it go through fake, stupid Star Wars Gay Day, May the 4th, whatever. All these people can fucking do that. And also let it be there for its actual anniversary, and let it run through May 25th, which actually is Star Wars Day. Like, get that entire time of May in there. And I'm not saying dedicate 4,000 screens to it, right? I'm saying keep it in 1,000 theaters. Boom, boom, boom. And it would have made a lot more fucking money than Snow White if it had still been out this weekend. I can guarantee you that.
Agreed. That's why the decisions that are made with this company at times, like, look at that freeze frame. That pictures of Rachel's that's nightmare. But
it's better. It's better than a lot of others, including the one in this thumbnail.
That was wild. I just don't understand the decision making that they decided to re-release it again right before they're going to put it on streaming, knowing that nobody even cared to see it in its original run. And if the decision was to keep Revenge of the Sith, I don't know this, it's just my opinion, to keep Revenge of the Sith away from the Thunderbolts box office, because they wanted to see how that was going to do without, I guess, competition, then why give Thunderbolts competition with Snow White? But
right, and that's one of the reasons I said I didn't.
Sense.
Yeah, like a lot of people acted like it was a desperate. Oh, they pulled it because it did when it's
No,
like
it was supposed to be.
It was always planned. Now it is crowded, right? This is crowded because you did have the release of Thunderbolts. We're very quickly approaching the release of Lilo and Stitch as well. You know, but yeah, you fucking decide to put this dog shit movie. I can guarantee you, a lot of these theaters would have rather had 1 or 2 extra showings of Sinners, right? Or even Minecraft or something like that. When you look at these fucking numbers, right? Of course they would have. But no, Rachel Zegler gets a second chance, so it gets to flop twice.
That it just doesn't make sense. Why would they put themselves through more embarrassment? I just don't understand. I thought I sent you the message where oh yes, okay. A Minecraft movie and Snow White will both release on digital tomorrow. Okay, that's what it is. So yeah, I don't get it. So they're gonna release Snow White again, this time on digital release. Will it bomb a third? Are we going for the trifecta here? All right, is that what we're gonna go for? But we'll never see those numbers. So, but I'm just wondering.
Well, we'll never like. We might get it was watched in 300,000 households its first week on video on demand or whatever, like something like that. But no, we'll never get any actual numbers from it. Bro, I was looking the other day. I feel like I bring up fairly often one of the reasons that like the entire entertainment industry has changed because of streaming. And one of those being nobody buys Blu-rays or DVDs. Obviously, no one would buy a DVD right now anyway. But in general, no one's buying physical media. And I mean that hyperbolically. Some people do. But based on the people that buy it now, it's nowhere close to the numbers they used to pull in. Right? You look at some of these big MCU movies that would come out and do, $700-800 million at the box office and then do another $150 million in Blu-ray sales afterwards. We don't have that anymore because of streaming. And because they're not selling it to another streaming service, they're putting it on their own service. They can't even recoup the money that way. I was looking because I randomly started talking about Aladdin and its sequels, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, and Aladdin 3, King of Thieves. Which are fucking awesome. But those were direct-to-video sequels. I was on Aladdin's Wikipedia page, and I found out that Aladdin did like $500 million at the box office when it was released in the early 90s or whatever. It also did $500 million in VHS sales.
Wow.
$500 million in VHS sales. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But that's what this market used to look like, right? Which is why when you hear Matt Damon talking about streaming, when you hear him talking about that and how the entire industry has changed because you can't rely on anything going forward because of all these separate streaming services. That's part of it.
Well, I also think that I also think in the next maybe 10 years, unless something shifts, that we'll just watch new movies on a streaming service. Like going to the theater will just be a thing, or just very limited. If in the next 10 years, where people would just rather just stay at home. When's the last time you bought a DVD? Do you remember? I don't remember. I think the last one that I want to buy is Jaws 50th anniversary steel box. I think that's coming out. That's the only one that I like my eye on. But honestly, it's like I can't remember the last time I went to the store. I know a lot of people still do. Like physical media is the way to go, but it's just
I honestly couldn't tell you the last time that it wasn't specifically some random fucking special steel book, whatever.
Exactly right.
Like, that you're just like, hey, I'm gonna get this movie because I liked it or something.
Right.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Panic and Skyfaller. Me at SeaWorld watching their biggest whale. Excuse me, I can't see the dolphins. You mind moving a bit, Mrs. Canal? Thank you. Sir Hat, Snow White flopped harder than Rachel Zegler on the producer's couch. Riggers, Hale, Neal. Riggers, Hale, Neal. Brian Keith. People always misspell my name. I've had name tags, college IDs, and receipts spelled brain. Some friends just call me Brain. I roll with it.
Brian? Really?
Yes, that happens more often than you would probably think. But it's not even worth me telling this fucking story because only I will think it's funny. So never mind. Magnum Norse for 10. What do you call a pirate who urinates on people? R. Kelly.
Trip, trip, trip.
Stewie Felt for 5. Last winter, my internet went down for 2 weeks. Physical media and books kept me from starting a shotgun. You didn't have your fucking phone? I'm glad he didn't die, though, Stewie. River Miles, Thunderbolts and No White together, like choosing between going to a WNBA game or to a proctologist. That's pretty good.
That is very good.
That's pretty good. A Money Wilson for $1. Jagged Fell is one of my favorite characters in the EU. He makes the solo kids look tame. Yeah, Jagged Fell is really. I wish we could have got to see him. Wish they would have gone that route. Cheap 100-inch TVs will help doom theaters too. Yeah, I mean, TVs are cheap, dude. Remember when plasma TVs first came out?
Yeah, I was about to say, what were they, like $10,000?
I don't know if they were 10, but certainly a couple grand.
They were expensive.
And heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Heavy as fuck. And then it was
Plasma.
LCDs.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was LED. And now you've got all the different fucking variations like QLED, like whatever the fuck. But
then Vizio showed up at Walmart and everybody got a Vizio.
Bro, I when Vizios first came out, I bought a Vizio. Bro, I fucking dragged that thing around the country with me for like 8 years. And it was awesome.
I still have mine.
That was the first like smart TV that I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought it had a fucking sliding remote. So like, you know those phones used to slide up and have it had a sliding remote that was like that. It was fucking sick. But you know, those days are over.
I was like, I'll buy a new TV once this Vizio dies. I've had it for years, man.
But now they've like cheapened them down though, so they are kind of like a Walmart brand. But honestly, look, fucking you can get yourself like a 55, 60-inch Vizio for like $230 or something. Might not last as long as your Samsung, might not look quite as good, but fuck, who's gonna notice? Your fucking grandma who comes over, like no one's gonna fucking notice that shit. Nobody can even tell the difference between real 4K and fake 4K. Nobody cares.
I just don't bring people over.
PHI, the Final Reckoning popcorn bucket, looks dope. Thank you, PHI.
Really? I got to check that out.
But I think, with that being said, we're all caught up. Jay, what do you got going on?
Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Drunk 3PO channel. Make sure you're subscribed. We're going over The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys. And I'll be discussing a little bit of the Saints and Sinners collab with the Rippaverse over there at 6 p.m. Eastern. So we'll have the crew over there and doing our thing.
You know what made me think of The Lost Boys the other day? Let me pull this up real quick. Here. This made me think of The Lost Boys. Gary posted this picture of himself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
From 1986. He looks like he's a fucking background character in The Lost Boys.
Yep. Looks like Keith or
Sutherland. That's what Jonas said too. I just saw The Lost Boys and I think you were in it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. You'll get the same intro again, so get used to it, motherfuckers.
That's it.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.